3 minutes. That's how long it would take for the first missiles to cross the Pacific. 3 minutes before radar screens begin to light up inside command centers across Asia. 3 minutes before generals start shouting orders. 3 minutes before satellites lock onto moving fleets and hypersonic weapons cut through the sky faster than anyone can react. But the most terrifying part? By the time the world realizes what has happened, the outcome of the war may already be decided. For decades, the United States has been seen as the most powerful military force on Earth. Aircraft carriers patrolling every ocean, hundreds of overseas bases, trillions of dollars spent on defense. From the Middle East to Eastern Europe, America has projected power across the globe like no empire before it. Yet, according to Professor Jiang Xueqin, a geopolitical analyst who studies modern warfare and global power structures, the next great conflict might expose something the world is not ready to accept. America might not be able to win. Not because the United States is weak, but because the world has changed, and the battlefield of the future looks nothing like the wars America has fought before. To understand why, we have to start with a simple question. What does winning a war actually mean? For most of modern history, victory meant destroying your enemy's army, capturing their capital, and forcing them to surrender. That's how World War II ended. Germany collapsed after Berlin fell. Japan surrendered after Hiroshima and Nagasaki. But the wars America has fought over the past 20 years have told a very different story. The United States defeated the Iraqi military in just weeks in 2003. Saddam Hussein's regime collapsed almost instantly. On paper, it looked like one of the most overwhelming victories in military history. And yet, the war didn't end. Insurgency followed. Guerrilla warfare dragged on for years. Trillions of dollars were spent. Thousands of lives were lost. The same thing happened in Afghanistan. The Taliban were removed from power within months after the invasion in 2001. American forces controlled the country. NATO troops secured major cities. Advanced technology dominated the battlefield. But 20 years later, the war ended with the Taliban returning to power. The lesson from these wars is something many strategists now openly admit. Military dominance does not guarantee strategic victory. Professor Jiang argues that the United States still has the strongest military in the world. No single nation can match the global reach of American forces. The U.S. Navy alone is larger than the navies of the next several countries combined. But the next war, the war many analysts fear is coming, will not be fought in deserts or mountains against insurgent groups. It will be fought between great powers, and great power wars follow completely different rules. Imagine a conflict in the Western Pacific. At the center of this scenario lies Taiwan, a small island that has become one of the most dangerous flashpoints in global politics. For China, Taiwan is not just a geopolitical issue, it is a matter of national identity. The Chinese government has repeatedly stated that reunification with Taiwan is inevitable. If peaceful reunification fails, Beijing has made it clear that it is willing to use force. For the United States, Taiwan represents something equally critical: credibility. America has long positioned itself as the security guarantor of the Indo-Pacific region. Allies like Japan, South Korea, and the Philippines depend on U.S. military presence to counterbalance China's growing power. If Taiwan falls, the entire balance of power in Asia could shift. And that's where the problem begins. Because fighting a war over Taiwan would be unlike anything the United States has attempted in modern history. The geography alone creates enormous challenges. Taiwan sits less than 200 kilometers from mainland China. That distance matters. Chinese missiles launched from the mainland could reach the island in minutes. Fighter jets can sortie repeatedly from nearby bases. supply lines for Chinese forces would be short and heavily protected. American forces, by contrast, would have to operate thousands of kilometers away from their primary bases in Hawaii, Guam, and Japan. Every aircraft carrier entering the region would become a massive target, and China has spent the past 2 decades preparing specifically for this scenario. Anti-ship ballistic missiles, hypersonic weapons, long-range cruise missiles, advanced air defense systems, all designed with one goal: keeping the U.S. military as far away as possible. Military planners call this strategy A2AD, anti-access and area denial. In simple terms, it means building a defensive bubble so dangerous that enemy forces cannot safely enter. For years, American aircraft carriers symbolized absolute dominance at sea. A single carrier strike group could control huge sections of the ocean. But in a conflict near China's coastline, those carriers might suddenly become extremely vulnerable. Missiles traveling several times the speed of sound could overwhelm defensive systems. Even one successful hit could cripple a carrier worth over $13 billion, and more importantly, carrying over 5,000 sailors. This risk forces U.S. commanders to rethink everything. If carriers cannot safely approach Taiwan, launching sustained air operations becomes far more difficult. Meanwhile, China's advantage continues to grow. Factories inside China produce ships, drones, and missiles at a pace few countries can match. In fact, China now builds more naval vessels every year than the United States. Shipyards that once produced commercial cargo vessels can rapidly shift to military production during wartime. This industrial capacity could become the deciding factor in a long conflict. History offers a powerful example. During World War II, the United States overwhelmed Japan not just with military skill, but with industrial output. American aircraft, tanks, and ships produced faster than enemies could destroy them. Now the situation may be reversing. China has become the manufacturing center of the world. Everything from electronics to ship components flows through Chinese supply chains. And here lies another uncomfortable reality. The global economy is deeply intertwined with China. A major war in the Pacific would immediately disrupt trade routes carrying trillions of dollars in goods. Semiconductor production could collapse, shipping lanes would close, energy markets would panic. The economic shock could spread across the planet within days, which raises a terrifying question. Would the United States even want to fight a long war under those conditions? Professor Jiang argues that modern great power wars may become unwinnable not because of military defeat, but because the economic cost becomes unbearable. Imagine global stock markets crashing, supply chains breaking down, inflation surging worldwide. Political pressure inside democratic societies could force governments to seek peace long before a decisive battlefield victory occurs. And China understands this dynamic extremely well. Instead of trying to match the United States globally, Beijing focuses its strength regionally, near its own borders, where geography, logistics, and industrial capacity all work in its favor. But the story does not end there, because military technology is also transforming the nature of war. Artificial intelligence, autonomous drones, cyber warfare, space-based surveillance. These systems are creating battlefields where speed and information matter more than sheer firepower. A swarm of inexpensive drones could overwhelm billion-dollar weapons systems. Cyber attacks could disable power grids or communication networks before the first missile is even fired. Satellites could track ships and aircraft across the ocean in real time. In such an environment, traditional military advantages become less certain. The United States still possesses incredible technological capabilities, but China is investing heavily in the same areas, and sometimes the advantage lies with whoever can produce the most systems the fastest, not necessarily the most advanced ones.
All of this leads to Professor Jiang's controversial conclusion. If a war broke out over Taiwan today, the United States might find itself facing a conflict where victory is unclear, escalation is extremely dangerous, and the economic consequences could devastate the global system. That doesn't mean China would easily win, far from it. Any war between nuclear-armed powers carries enormous uncertainty. Both sides would suffer massive losses, cities could be threatened, economies shattered, and the risk of nuclear escalation would hang over every decision, which may ultimately be the most important point, because the real reason America might not be able to win this war is that no one truly can.